It can seem like decisions in your 20s or even beyond can be filled with uncertainty, with you questioning yourself. Is this the right move? What should I do? Should I focus on this? And it allows you to get overthinking, distracted, and not even making any moves. Here's a new perspective to view uncertainty with more empowerment, with more fun, and to help you feel more at ease when it comes to newness or new decisions in your life. Welcome back to Align Your Day. This is Jenna Fanopoulos, your certified life coach for corporate women, to help release stress and feel like the boss of your life, even if you're not the boss at work. So let's get into our episode today. It's going to be short and sweet, but basically today I was walking right after work. I was taking my little after work walk. It was actually beautiful outside today. It was a beautiful brisk 70. So just imagine you're like, post work, you're post in Excel all day, you finally get out and feel air and like get connected with earth again, and you feel like you're reborn. That was me walking outside for my walk about an hour and a half ago. So I go outside, I take this walk, right? And on my walk, I start to get, I start to feel really, like I said, grateful that I'm out in 70 degrees because it was literally crisp and gorgeous. And apparently it's like 70 degrees all the time in San Diego or around there. So kind of got to catch me to SD soon. But anyways, okay, so I'm on this walk, right? And I'm walking, I'm like de-stressing from the day. And I start to find myself in this spiral, right? Easy to get in those mind spirals. I find myself in this spiral of, should I be focusing on this when it comes to growing my brand? Should I be focusing more on this type of content? Should I be focusing on just creating more live events? Should I be focusing on, right? I got all these questions coming to my mind, and I started to question things, and I felt like there was so much uncertainty that I had before me. And, I was getting myself riled up, and I was getting myself dysregulated. And I was like, you know what, we gotta keep walking. We gotta get myself more regulated. So a great way to get yourself more regulated if you feel like your mind is racing is to get into your body. So I started to shake out in the body a little bit. I started to look at the leaves. I started to look at the details in my scenery around me. That's a great way to kind of re-regulate yourself. So get connected with your body, do a little shake out, stretch out your legs a little bit. Anything you can do to bring your focus from your mind to your body in those moments is really key. So like I said, doing those shakeouts, connecting with the ground or with the scenery around you and looking at the details and really getting in touch with the details, with the scenery, getting in touch with your senses. So starting to ask myself, what do I smell? What do I hear around me? That's a great way to get more regulated, get more present, and get yourself out of those spirals when you find yourself in those mind spirals. So that's the first thing that you want to start to do when you find yourself in these moments of spiraling, of feeling like there's so much uncertainty. A great first step, right, is getting regulated, getting yourself, and that just means getting yourself in a calmer, more clear state within your nervous system. And I talk a lot about the nervous system, a lot about how to know when you're dysregulated, how to come down to more regulation. I'll put one of my recent podcasts or YouTubes on that. I'll put it in the show notes, and then I'll put it in the YouTube in the show notes as well. But you want to get yourself more regulated. Coming back to my story. So, I'm walking in this brisk thing. I'm feeling in this brisk air. I'm feeling like, okay, the mind spiral is going. I'm finally feeling more regulated, feeling more calm now because I've done those things I just told you. And I'm walking, and I have like this little hit of inspiration and this hit of a remembrance, which I think is something we also got taught in our coaching certification. But think about how amazing things were when you were a child, when you were learning them. Think about how fascinating it was to work with uncertainty as a child and how you might have viewed uncertainty as mystery. Really start to think about that, because I felt like I also was feeling lately that as an adult, we tend to know more things, right? We tend to know more about how certain things work. We tend to know more about how to get places. We know our routes. And as a kid, we're just starting to learn. We're still uncertain, but we had fun with that uncertainty, right? Maybe think about a time when you were driving to a new place and you were so excited. You were looking around you like, oh my gosh, what's new? Or asked your mom, like, what's next, mom? Like, what are we going to see next? Like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And it's so beautiful because you still have that wonder, right? We probably have that uncertainty, but you have that wonder, you have that newness, you have that childlike innocence, right? And I started to ask myself, how can I view the uncertainty I have now with that wonder, with that newness, right? Because at the end of the day, uncertainty is just uncertainty. And it's about the way you view it, the way you perceive it, the way you go about that challenge or that hurdle of uncertainty that can dictate your experience of it, right? You can have this this hiking trail and you can not prepare for it at all, and you can just sit there and mope all the time. Or you can have the hiking trail, you can get excited, you can get packed with some snacks, you can get packed with some, books to kind of have in your, if you want to take a break, you can get little sunglasses going, you can just take in the views, take some hot Instagram pics on your trail, right? So it's about how you view and your perspective about this word of uncertainty, right? And we learned a lot about this in our coaching, and it's really important when I'm working with clients to understand how does your mind define and perceive certain words? Because at the end of the day, things are neutral, right? Words can be neutral, situations can be neutral. It's the perspective that you view them from that really dictates your inner world. Someone can view hiking with a certain perspective, while the other person next to them can view hiking from a completely different lens. Someone can define success a certain way next to you, while you define success a completely different way, right? So consider that when it comes to working with uncertainty. What is your mind frame? What is your perspective when it comes to uncertainty? And is there a way you can start to bring in more childlike wonder, childlike curiosity, just even curiosity in general of, no, I don't know what's next. I don't know what lies ahead, but I'm going to get curious. I'm going to ask some good ass questions, and I'm going to start to be a detective and see how I can make this more fun and enjoyable for me. And this is so key because this allows you to stay more regulated and stay more present when you're faced with challenges. And this is really key because when you start to get super stressed, when you find yourself in those spirals, as I mentioned before, this is when your brain starts to go from learning brain to survival brain. You have less learning capacities. You're able to think about, you're not as able to think about new ideas or new perspectives because your mind is focused solely on surviving. Your mind and body start to get into a survival response, and you have less capacity for new thinking, new ideas, XYZ. So as much as you can, you want to get yourself in that more calm, regulated state, because that will allow you to view your situation that you're uncertain about with more perspective, with more ideas, with more possibility, with more resourcefulness, because your mind and body won't feel in a survival response. That's quite literally trauma 101, and it's nervous system 101. So viewing your what you're uncertain about, whether it be in your career or whatever the case may be, from a more regulated, calm state, and then moving from there, that will allow you to see greater, more expansive results. And so that's really, really key is getting yourself calm and regulated. And a great way to do so is getting in touch with that inner child within you. How can you get in touch with your inner child today? How can you bring more playfulness, more zest to your day to day, right? I'm going to ask you that. What's a way you can view your listen, I am in Excel for 75% of my day. Okay. I can still bring some fun and playfulness to it. So I guarantee you can bring some fun and playfulness to what you're doing. Okay. Because Excel is about as mundane as things can get sometimes. So bring some zest, bring some playfulness energy into your day and see how that changes the way that you're viewing your obstacles. Okay. So that's really, really key. And that's kind of like a perspective I remembered as I finally got myself regulated on my walk. It was like, Jenna, think about how amazing things were as a kid when you were doing them for the first time, when you weren't exactly sure how it was going to turn out, but you were excited to do it because it was a new experience. Bring that feeling to uncertainty. And you could even shift uncertainty to mystery, right? We love a good mystery. We love looking for next clues and kind of seeing how they're all going to piece together at the end. So you can view uncertainty as mystery. I got that perspective shift from Amy Rushworth. She's a coach on Instagram as well. And she said that one time and I was like, that's a great perspective shift. Shift it to mystery, right? We love a good mystery. People are obsessed with mysteries now. What are all those crime podcasts and stuff? I mean, I don't listen to them, but people are obsessed. They love them. So, what you're uncertain about, make it a sexy mystery, and also put a great way to kind of help regulate yourself through the uncertainty is to put checkpoints or put markers for yourself, right? What are 3 key steps you want to make by X date to at least know you're making some sort of forward progress. Put those markers in place so your mind knows that you're making some sort of shift and you're not just mystery, nothing, you're not going to do anything. put some goals for yourself, set some attainable action steps, and set like dates for those, and take action. And from that action, you'll start to get those ideas, you'll start to get those hits, you'll start to get those insights from the conversations you're having with coworkers or people around you, right? But get yourself regulated, start to bring in that childlike curiosity, set those attainable action steps, so your mind feels like you're taking action, which feels like it allows your mind to feel like you're somewhat in control because you're taking action. So that allows you to feel safer. So set some action steps for yourself and ask yourself, how can I view this as like a little sexy mystery, and go forward, right? It's a great perspective shift to shift your mind and body to a more calm state, and start to view uncertainty with more fun, with more zest, with more mystery. So it's really exciting, right? And I think we could all use some childlike wonder and some childlike curiosity in our days and in our worlds. Because when we start to think that we know everything, and that we have a plan, and we're gonna execute the plan, and we know we're gonna do it 5 years and in 10 years, it's like, dude, where's the fun? Like, where's the zest? Where's that childlike fun? Where's that playfulness? Like, let's bring that back, right? We don't want to lose that, because then we start to go through life just moving through the motions. You want to feel like that sexy, empowered woman who's the queen of her life, who's still fun and playful though. You want to have that fun and playful side. You want to be a robot, right? You can still kick ass at work, but you don't have to be a robot. So it's really great to kind of merge that inner child part of you when you're taking on those maybe seemingly new or uncertain parts of your life, but with that curiosity. So and you can view this, I'm viewing this with my in my dating world as well, right? So I'm single right now. This is one, I'm not a relationship coach, by the way, which but I'm single right now. And so I'm like, okay, I could either view my like, I don't know, not, how do you say it? Not search, but intention to find a man. Yes, I do want a man. That'd be nice for me. But my intention to, why am I like blanking? Oh yeah. I could view my intention to find my future partner with like a huge desperate search of like, where is he? I need to find him. Like, think like you're in the middle of the night with like those huge like flashlights, like in the water, trying to find someone. Or I could view it as like a little sexy mystery, like, ooh, I wonder where he is. I wonder what he's doing right now. He better be getting his ish together so that we can when we actually do meet, we're coming together at a good time. So things like that, right? Like, you can view that uncertain part of your life with more mystery, with more fun, with more zest. And this could be ranges, right? My inner logical side of me is like, but someone's going to say, if you need to find a job the next day, you're not going to view it as a sexy mystery. No, but this can come in ranges, and, apply this as a practical framework, but, apply this to what works for you in your life. But I'm like, that's just fun. And what's actually crazy, going off of that note of viewing your search for your lover as like a sexy mystery? It's kind of crazy because one of my colleagues who I was in my coaching certification with, she literally said that she was like at lunch one day, or just like talking with a girlfriend about, I wonder like where my future husband is, or when I'm gonna meet him or whatever. And I think her girlfriend at the time said, I have a feeling your husband's like going through a divorce right now in the States, and then you guys are gonna meet after that. And sure enough, she was literally in Canada at the time, like crazy. Sure enough, she literally is in Chicago now, married to her husband, who had at that time been going through a divorce. How crazy is that? So when you start to view things as like a little mystery, and like, ooh, I wonder what's going to happen next, then you can kind of have more fun with it, and the uncertainty can kind of be more playful. So, and like little clues will start to like pop up, and you'll be like, oh, this all kind of like came together at the end. So it's like when you think back to maybe a random conversation you might have had with someone who said something to you, and then like a few years later, you're like, holy shit, like that actually was so true, or that panned out exactly the way that person had told me it would. It's like, think of that uncertainty as that mystery, with like little clues that may be dropping to you through conversations, through things that you're trying, through things that you may read that resonate with you. Think about uncertainty as that, and then use those clues, use those things that are resonating as your next steps. And that could kind of help you feel more at ease and more empowered when you have uncertainty to deal with, when your mind starts to spiral, when you start to overthink, when you start to be back in that place where you're like, what do I do? Which is very normal, especially in our 20s, right? But that's so, so key for you. And that's a great way to get yourself more empowered through uncertainty. So I hope this little nugget was helpful for you. You deserve to feel empowered. View uncertainty can be a neutral thing. Uncertainty. How are you going to define it? How are you going to have that perspective in your life about uncertainty? And then how are you going to move through it in a sexy way? Put on your Louboutins, walk through it like a bitch, like a boss bitch, and kind of move through it from there. So I'll talk to you soon. If you want to get in touch for a 30-minute coaching call, if anything resonated and you want to go deeper on any of these concepts, then I can definitely curate a package for you. If you feel like you're navigating a lot of uncertainty in your life, you're not really sure how to start to really feel empowered in your life, you have a lot of maybe doubt or comparison, you're working through overthinking, maybe you've tried to work with overthinking with other people or resources or specialists, but you want someone who has a mind-body approach to these things, go ahead and DM me for a free 30-minute discovery call. We could see if I can support you. I have a full form that I have my potential clients fill out. You could fill out that form. I'll get in touch with you, and then we can kind of build your own personal program or regimen from there if you decide to go with it. But I'll talk to you so soon. Link below for everything I talked about. And remember, let's start to view uncertainty as a fun mystery and see what clues are coming your way. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye, babe.